Hi, this is Ben Llywelyn, and today I'm talking about the colours in Welsh. When learning a language, you need colours even if you are colourblind to know expressions and phrases like yellow fever, a white lie, playing the blues, green with envy or green sick. Hit that subscribe button. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to give you each colour, the name of it, and translate it in English, of course, for you from Welsh. But if there's an older word for it, I'll put a little star so you know, and I'll tell you what that is. And also there's one of these that has a dialect word for it, and I'll give you that as well. And for a couple of them, there are other words for them that I'll give you. For some of these, there are masculine and feminine. So I'll put a little slash between the two so you know which form is which. So if you're talking about a woman, you need to know what the feminine form of that color is so that you can describe her that way. I will also put for some of these a D and a dot so you know that it's a dialect word. Well, only one of them, but so you know before we go forward. Now stick around to the end. I've got a bonus color for you that most first language Welsh speakers have no idea about, and I want to share that with you because it's quite a beautiful one. Well, black and white are the most obvious ones, so let's start with black. D, or as I prefer to say it, D. The U in that is a bit sticky. Just DU, but the U is E, D. And you get this in a lot of expressions. D, black. The next one is white. Now there are two here, like I mentioned with the feminine and masculine. The masculine is Gwyn, and the feminine is Gwen. Notice that the feminine one is a bit lighter in the vowel sound, and the masculine is a bit darker, Gwyn and Gwen. This follows through a lot of the Welsh language, that the feminine descriptive words often have lighter syllable and vowel sounds than their masculine counterparts. And this word here, Gwyn, you're going to get a lot in the Welsh language for common expressions. So now let's get to colors beyond the binary black and white. Red it's coch. This is for most versions of red, but you also get rhydd, and this is more for crimson or blood type colors. This is more poetic and used more in a literary sense. But if you really want to describe blood correctly in the Welsh language, you need rhydd. You use coch for that as well. You can. But you have both these words. Coch. The next one is the word for blue. Glass. Now this is a quite interesting word because we use this to describe many types of green. So glass does not have a feminine and masculine, you don't need to worry about that. But take a look at this picture of a freshly cut lawn. This is not green in Welsh. This is blue, and we use the word for glass. Also, glass is used for young sprouts, young men, young freshers at university, a lot of different words. It means very immature in a lot of ways, young sprouting things. And you need to be aware of that. Glass is blue. The word for green itself, on the other hand, has this masculine and feminine. Gwyrdd, gwerth. Notice that the light sound is in the feminine, gwerth, and the dark sound, gwyrdd, is in the masculine. And you'll see that a lot. There's a differentiation of the vowel syllable there that can tell you which is which. This is more for dark or standard green, rather than a fresh cut lawn or fresh sprouts. The next color is yellow. Melon is the standard word for yellow, but you also get a feminine version, melon. Can you see the difference there? Melon, melon. You don't hear melon that often. And it is found in lots of poetry and literary texts, but you won't hear people use it day to day. Unfortunately, I hope that they will bring it back and use it, because having melon and melon for yellow is very rich to have in your language. Descriptive words to describe feminine and masculine things in both genders for yellow, but people don't use it, unfortunately. The word for brown in Welsh is brown. You'll notice that there's the archaic form here, gwynau, but this doesn't quite describe brown. It's more of a ruddy color, like rust. I hope people come to use this more because it's such a rich addition to the language. It is the original word for brown in Welsh, but you're not going to hear it spoken orally in common use. Unfortunately, the word today is brown. Notice the difference in pronunciation between brown and brown. The word for purple in Welsh is porfor. This is quite a beautiful word in my opinion, porfor. You'll notice that there's a dialect word here for that, and that's puce. You'll hear this in some dialects. It's not the standard word. Porfor is the standard, but you still need to know puce because it is an everyday use in many parts of Wales, and it's completely normal to use. So you have puce and porfor, purple. The next color is grey, and frankly I think we use this a lot more than English does. It's llwyd. You're going to hear this in a lot of compound words, so be aware of this. Llwyd. It's where the name in English Lloyd comes from. It's a Welsh borrowing that was, well, butchered. But llwyd. One also that I find interesting is the word for orange in Welsh, oran. And it obviously comes from the same French root as English does. It comes from the fruit, oran. Oran. Quite easy, that one. Just a bit of accent on the R. Oran. Now you've stuck around, I'll give you the bonus color. And that is a hoeg. I love this word. It's got that umlaut above the O, a hoeg. And what this means, well, there's two meanings for this word, actually two different colors. Originally, this was the color of imperial purple for the Roman Empire, that the Welsh were the inheritors of the glory and the grandeur of the Roman Empire. They were the Romans in Britain when the Saxons came, and this color, a hoeg, was used as a metaphor for their prowess as the rightful rulers of Britain. A hoeg, apart from meaning the purple of imperial Rome, also meant the purple color of heather, the plant, which is a strong signifier in Welsh culture. It's used a lot because, well, frankly, heather grows very easily in Wales. The other color that I want to share with you that a hoeg became is, for a time in the late independent period in the 12th and 13th centuries, it became a word for green, very, very dark, rich green for expensive cloth usually. And this kind of connotates that it was carrying on from its rich flavor of that color of heather. This green was very metaphoric because the poets that used it were aware of the connotations from earlier poetry, that they had a Roman inheritance, that they had a grandeur to aspire to. Hey, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Until next time, hwyl fawr.